This tutorial is an exercise to help you get used to the snap from command that AutoCAD offers. In this tutorial, we're going to take our exercise template and we're going to zoom in to the left corner point. The first step is to grab a piece of duct out of your fitting bin. Here we're going to click on rectangular duct. The second step is to open up your fitting parameter box and give the width and depth in the parameters 48 by 24. Then we're going to come back onto our screen and we're going to zoom in using the zoom and pan buttons and focus on this corner point here. We're going to place the duct down exactly 5 feet over and 5 feet up from this corner point. That will be the reference point we use. We must now hold down the shift key and right click to open up our AutoCAD object snap choices. Here we're going to click on the from command. I'm going to click on from and notice that when we do that, PractiCAD, the command for placing duct, has been stopped by the AutoCAD command from base point. The second we hit snap from, we get from base point right here. Now we need to choose the base point we'd like to start this duct from, and we're going to reference it from this corner point. So we're going to hold it in this corner point, and now we're going to click. Once we've chosen our offset correctly, now we need to give the offsets we want. We want to type in the @ symbol. Notice I'm typing in the @ first, and then 60 on the X, 60 on the Y. We can also, if you like, give a Z-axis for elevation as well, or we can use our elevation box. Type in 120 inches here. Now remember, we're holding the center line of the duct currently. But 60, 6120 with the @ symbol. Now we're going to hit enter. Now the duct is on the pivot point where we were holding, and it should be ready to go exactly the distance we want it. I'm going to rotate the duct up, and now we're going to click again. At this point, we should be able to place the duct exactly where we want it. Remember, the last thing we should see is the specified method of placement before we click one more time to place a duct on the drawing. Once we see this, we know one more click and the duct is placed down. Now we're going to hit escape. We've let go of the duct. I'm now going to take my linear dimension and just dimension from the base point to the center point we were holding to make sure that it is in fact 5 foot on the X, 5 foot on the Y. The next portion of this tutorial, we're going to route an entire duct line using the snap from command exactly 5 feet off of this wall. The first thing we must do is get your duct and the wall in sight on your AutoCAD screen. Next thing, make sure that your O snap is checked and so is polar for this exercise. Now we're going to select a radius elbow from your fitting bin. Now, if your elbow is not currently on continue, which means it's not snapping, it might be under new, hit C for continue to snap to the ductwork. Now PractiCAD is going to ask you for the method of routing we'd like to use. In this tutorial, we're going to use the exact method. So type in E, enter. Now we can move our cursor up and down, and we're routing by exact. Now we're going to activate the snap from command by holding down the shift key and right clicking. AutoCAD will open up all of our object snaps, and we're going to choose from. The second we do that, AutoCAD is asking us from what base point in our command line. Now we need to highlight the wall that we'd like to use as a base point and click once. That dictates the base point. Then AutoCAD is going to ask us in the command line for an offset. We can either give it an XYZ command, as in earlier tutorials, or we can hold in the direction from the base point we gave. The polar line helps us do this. And we can now type in the distance we need. Now currently, we are holding the duct by the center. Whenever we route duct, we're holding it by the center. And this duct's width we set to be 48 inches, which means that the distance between the cursor and the left side of the duct is half the width, or 24 inches. If we would like the cursor to be 60 inches away from our base point, we can now type in 60. However, if we would like the left side of the duct to be 60 inches away from the wall, we're going to need to take the 60 inches we want and add the difference between where my cursor is in the end of the wall. In this particular case, it's 2 feet. So we need to add 60 inches for 5 foot plus 24 inches for 2 foot. And that's going to give us 84. I'm going to type in 84 in my command line. And now hit enter. If we've done this correct, we can now hit escape to let go of the fitting. Try using a dimension line. I'm going to use my linear dimension on my ribbon. Yours could be under your dimension menu, or it can be under your annotate button in your AutoCAD panel. I'm going to use my linear dimension and measure from the side of this duct to this wall. And you can see it's 5 foot. It's actually 84 inches from here to here, or 7 foot. But this is how we route using snap from. Hopefully this exercise will help you get used to combining snap from commands with our various routing methods.